One of the questions we get most frequently asked at the store is how to seam sweater pieces together so that they look really neat. So I decided to shoot a couple of quick videos on the various stitches you can use to get nice joins in your garment, and it can make a huge difference to your finished product. So the first thing I would say is you want to have your right sides facing you as you do your seams. The second thing is, of course, you'll want to thread your wool needle with the actual yarn that you knit your sweater in. I'm using a contrast here just for the purposes of you being able to see it more readily in the video, but you would want to use your actual yarn in the seaming process. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you would seam stockinette stitch to stockinette stitch. So for instance, in the side seam of a stockinette stitch sweater. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up the very corner edge stitch, and when you pick it up, you want to be sure you get both pieces of that knit stitch, not just one, but both pieces of that V. And you'll notice that I brought the yarn up through that corner stitch from the bottom to the right side, from the wrong side to the right side facing. So it's coming up through the top, and I'm going to leave myself a tail to tie in later. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to pick up my edge stitch, and now I'm going to go back to this first piece, which you might say would be your back of your sweater, and I'm going to go through the exact same corner stitch again as I did to begin with. So now I've sort of lashed the two pieces together using a figure eight. I came up through the back, up through the front, and then up through the back again. So now my yarn is coming up from the top of my back, and I want to now stitch the back to the front. I'm going to now go to my front side. I'm going to go into the hole where my stitch came out of before, and I'm going to go straight up, and I'm going to pick up two purl bumps with my wool needle. Then I'm going to come to the back side. I'm going to go into where I came out of, and I'm going to go up there we go, and I've picked up, maybe you can see if I spread them out, it's a little hard to see, but you see how there are two purl bumps there on my needle. Okay, then I go back to the front swatch, and I'm going to go into where I came out of, and I'm going to go pick up two purl bumps here. There's two. To the back, I go into where I came out of, and I pick up two purl bumps. So each time you're going to go into where you came out of the previous time you were on that side, and you're going to go pick up two purl bumps, and you're always going to stay in the same line. So what I mean by that is I go into where I came out of, and when I pick up my two bumps, I want to do it in a straight or vertical line. I don't want to cross over. Do you see here how I might be picking up two bars there, but one is actually a purl bump and the other is a knit stitch, and that's going to give me a jagged line. The way you get a nice straight seam is by picking a line and sticking with it, and not zigzagging back and forth across columns of stitches. So let me just do two more quick ones, and then I'm going to pull my tension together. I've been doing this very loosely so you could sort of see what I was doing, but now I'm going to tighten my tension here, and you will see just how beautiful and simple of a seam this is. This is called the mattress stitch. And so again, I've done it very loosely here, so you can see it's sort of like lacing back, front, always going into the stitch, the hole you came out of before, and going and picking up two purl bumps. And importantly, you want to stick with one line. You see how on both sides I am staying very vertical, and I'm not switching back and crossing over columns of knit stitches. So that will ensure that you get a really nice join. So now here's the beauty of it when I pull my thread. See what a perfect merging of the back and the front you get using this mattress stitch. So I hope that helps you.